my channel. This is a Lego bearing that I've been working on. Let's go check it out. So this is made for I guess what you'd call a horizontal force. This allows me to have a larger axle. I could use these 2x2s or I could use the 4x4s. They're a 4x4 macaroni is what I believe the brick is called. Mostly all original Lego parts except for this 8x8 plate. This is just an 8x8 plate that I modified and then 3D printed. I put a hole and I also recessed all the studs. So that way there the needle bearings will have a smooth run-in surface. Well, it's not really a surface that it runs on. This is more like the keeper to keep the needle bearings from walking out from side to side. You see inside. And we get a nice rolling surface when you push down on it. It runs really smooth. I really like that. So you really have a lot of weight on this part. Now, the 2x2 macaronis I have going all the way through the 4x4 macaronis, and then you can see I have an axle going all the way through. So that should make for a really strong axle. My end goal for this is to build a giant crankshaft, and then we'll see where it goes from there. The crankshaft will be a very good example of the practicality of this style bearing, which is a lot different from what you normally see with the large Lego cranes. They usually have a Lazy Susan type of bearing, more of a vertical force bearing, whereas this one is a horizontal. So you sit down on there. Now the 8x8 panel was a 8x8 brick. It was 3 layers tall, so it was an 8x8 by 3. I modified it to just be 1 brick high. All these designs are already there. I forget who I got it off of on Thingiverse. If I remember, I will comment about them on the credits or in the video link description below. One thing that kind of sucks with this is the studs are just a tiny bit too small. They're like a hair too small, because as you can see, I can easily remove that piece with very little effort. Now the other piece that they're sticking into the bottom is very tight. So that's spot on. But the top, I don't know, I'll have to maybe redo the entire file and probably just design a brick from scratch to try to meet those tolerances. It was probably fine on like a different style printer. This one is actually stuck in there. As you can see, this is the first 8x8 that I modified and printed, and I made the hole too small. So the 4x4 macaroni won't fit through there. I have it on there for now just for testing. I'm going to replace it with this one, which is done to the correct size. I want to be able to have it so that I can use a 4x4 macaroni style axle for the whole thing to hopefully gain more strength, which a 4x4 with 2x2s in the middle should be a lot stronger than just a simple black 1x1 axle, I guess you'd call it. And then this will be able to slide in and out without any of that stuff on there. Of course, if you slide that out, all the needle bearings are going to fall out, or in this case, all the Technique spacers. That's all they are. Oh, now my bearing's not working. This is what happens when the V-chip kicks in. There we go. So you have a giant 4x4 axle. One thing I would say is I don't like how the macaroni pieces are. They need a biased macaroni piece because they're all in columns 2x2. The only cool thing is I found a nice 4x4 macaroni ring that allows me to connect them all together and secure them. Because otherwise all you have is just one big long piece and you end up with 4 of them and there's no strength to, there's no interlocked action going on. So they're actually weaker that way. Same thing with the big macaroni pieces. They too are just in like 4 sections. Now you can offset these, but you have to go 3 wide because as you offset it, that also offsets the base plate. Oh, whoop, it was on there. As you can see, now it's what is that, 90 degrees off or 45 degrees off. So you'd have to put like a third one to bring it back around to being on the 90. So I'm gonna put this back together. If you want to watch, you can watch me put it back together. Nothing too exciting, but make for more video. But if you like this kind of stuff, you want to see more, you'd have to wait because I don't come up with such great ideas like this all the time. Definitely check out my Lego clock. I believe I'm the first one to ever come up with a Lego clock that has 3 hands on the same axis. There's other people that have come up with it too, but I think I was the first. I have a nice diagram of that on my Bricklink account. And I might also do this one on Bricklink as well. I use Stud.io. I say I used it. I learned how to use it once and did the Lego clock in it, and I haven't been back since. But I could try it with this. This should be fun because these don't go anywhere. They're just free floating. So it'll be fun to try to see how that works in Stud.io. The only thing that sucks is that's technically not a Lego piece, so this breaks the Lego building rules. Maybe in the future they'll make a piece that is half and half. Yeah, this is one reason why I don't think this will ever be an actual Lego piece, is because the this lip is like half a stud wide, and I don't think I've ever seen a Lego piece that's like half a stud wide, except for those ones that were used on the cargo bay doors of the freight cars on the train set. But those are straight though, they weren't curved. So maybe they'll come out with a curved version of that, and that could fill in for this. I'm also disappointed that they don't make a 3x3 macaroni. Because this is the 4x4. Oh wait, no, this is the 6x6. This one's the 4x4. That's a 2x2. But there's no 3x3. I actually found a company that makes some. So I ordered them. It's coming from China. I have no idea what I'm going to get in the mail, but it'd be interesting to see what comes of it. When that comes in, I'm going to make a smaller bearing that uses the 2x2 for the center and then the 3x3s for the outside, and we'll see how that one works as well. So then I have 2 different sizes of bearings. Like I said before, like, comment, subscribe. Look at supporting me on Patreon. We're going to need a lot of support. Right now, everything's shut down because of that virus thing, and I don't know how the world's going to survive that way if we keep shutting everything down every time there's a virus. And even if it's not just a little virus that the media is hyping up, we need a better system of dealing with this kind of outbreaks. And until then, I'll be cooped up, come up with more ideas. Thank you for watching.